Hello and welcome to the Afri Dominion. My name is Freeman Singirankabo and thank you so very much for tuning into our program today. Those of you joining us live, especially if you're joining us live from both our private and public social media, welcome and thank you so much guys for taking some time out of your busy schedule, out of your lunchtime for some of you and out of your dinner time for the rest of you and tuning into this broadcast. We are truly grateful guys. That goes to the same of you joining us live from the television radio station. We are super excited, guys, for the opportunity to serve you and for the opportunity to come here and share with you our hearts, our thoughts, the things that we cherish very deeply in our day-to-day lives. And we are super grateful for the opportunity. Thank you. And I want to give you all a huge welcome and let you know that as we come forward, as always, we come forward and we coming speaking to you guys truthfully, boldly, and with no apologies. Literally, we are speaking to you truthfully, boldly, and with no apologies. Why? Because what we share with you, the content that we share with you, our hearts, what's in our minds, what's in our hearts, what's in our thoughts, these are the things of which we care very deeply about. And oftentimes, they shape who we are. They shape who we have been, we are, and we are going to be. And so by us spending some time with you means that you are really, really, really valued. And it is for those reasons I also let you know that our conversation here at Afri Dominion, it is a conversation that we get to have in the spirit of truth, love, and trust. And these are the benchmarks by which we would help each and every one of you to measure both the validity and the integrity of everything we share with you guys. Why do we say that? Why do we mention that? Because we want to make sure that everything we share with you not only becomes an added value to you in your life, something that you can see yourselves with you doing it in your day-to-day life, something that you can relate to. But above all, we want to make sure that we do not waste your precious time that you actually have given to us right now in the midst of so many other things that you could be doing. So thank you so very much, guys. And we are going to be very diligent and very, 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 excuse me. We are going to be very diligent and we are going to be purposeful. Absolutely purposeful in the delivery of what we have to share with you today. And with that in mind also, guys, I want to make sure that it is not every day we get to share with all of you every single day. Since we broadcast worldwide, we have no idea who tunes in to our presentation, our broadcast on a daily basis. But I want to go right ahead and say welcome to those of you who are tuning in for the very first time. And we also want to acknowledge and say welcome. Come and let's share. We also want to let you know that those of you who have been following our programs throughout, we want to make sure that we encourage each and every one of you, as well as those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, to take some time and leave us some feedbacks. Why do we intend, excuse me, what do we involve on that? What do we insist rather on that? I need some water. We insist on that because every single day that we live, we're spending life the same way you spend money. Life is a currency, guys. Life is a currency. And every single day that you spend your life, you're spending something very precious that you will never get a refund on. So we want to make sure that the time that you do decide to spend with us, you can say, I've done well spending my time. And if you don't have that, I want to make sure that take some time and leave us some feedback. Let us know, hey, you know what you have said, what you have shared was helpful. What you have shared was not very helpful. However, these are my feedbacks, something that I think can be very helpful to you guys in order for you to improve what you are sharing with the rest of the people. We believe we are adding value every single day. In my whole life, in my day-to-day life, I believe that I add value. I also believe that you have value. And so let's put ourselves on the scale, up in the open. Let's have friends, families, and those others who are actually consuming, who are receiving what we are sharing with them, and allow yourself to be put on the scale. See if you are helpful. And if you're not helpful, take some criticism, both positive and negative criticism. They are very good for you. They are very good for us. So those of you who want to get in touch with us, how do you do that? We have our primary website, which is one of the gateways by which you can actually join to us and get in touch with the things and the activities and everything that we are doing. And that website is none other than www.afridominion.com. www.afridominion.com. On the website, you'll find phone number, both cell phones and landline. You'll find social media handlers, emails, etc. We have so many things you will find on the website, as well as information that we do get to share with you on a daily basis. In particular, those of you who would love to get in touch with us and who are techies, we always give out our email because we know that it is expensive for you to actually dial into a landline from Africa. From somewhere that the service, the communication level, it's very expensive. However, we know that in today's world, your data plan is much cheaper than you picking up the phone and calling on the landline. So that's why we give you an email so that you may have an opportunity to get in touch with us. And our primary email is info@afridominion.com. info@afridominion.com. Use it wisely and make sure whatever that you have in your heart, you can pour into us and we can actually share it. All right. And besides that, I also want to let you know that it's a privilege to really be in front of you guys. And it's a privilege to have the opportunity to share with you some of the things that we haven't been able to share for years. And thanks also to the networks carrying the signal, broadcasting the signal, be it on the huge networks like radios and televisions, be it on the World Wide Webs, different platforms, both public and private. We are super grateful for the opportunity. In particular, thanks to HMG Network and the affiliates for really taking it forward, for making sure that we can actually come to your living room every single day, from Monday through Friday, rather, and actually have some sort of interaction with you guys. We are really grateful for the opportunity, and thanks to all of you involved in this endeavors, and we are not going to take it for granted. And with that in mind, I also want to let you guys know that those of you who continuously listen, continuously follow up, continuously tuning, even the new one, those of you who are new to the platforms, we want to make sure that you know why you're here up front, because we don't want to play with your time, play with your emotion, play with your intelligence. We want to just let you know what it is that we do here. We only do literally one and only one thing. And that one thing is light in the in not only the presentation, the programs and everything we do here, but we also bring ourselves emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And so what is Afri Dominion? And what is Afri Dominion show? You come in and you tune into Afri Dominion. Someone might give you, hey, go ahead and check those guys out. Here at Afri Dominion. Afri Dominion itself, it's a concept. It's an idea that inspires you, that advocate on behalf of our brothers and sisters, the voiceless kind. And we also get to encourage each and every one of you, but we go even further. We help you. We help ourselves take a full dominion of Africa and African affairs, one nation at a time, by you, the sons, the daughters, and the African descendants, all in the interest of our own people, Africans and African descendants, you sons and daughters, and the rest of the world afterwards. So if you do not understand what we do, make sure that you, at the very least, listen to that. Hence, our programs, every single one of the programs that we have here, it's meant to inspire you, each and every one of you. It is meant to advocate on behalf of you, the voiceless, brothers and sisters out there. It's also intended to encourage you, sons and daughters, African descendants, and everybody else out there, to make sure that you become a better version of yourself. To make sure that you get to take the full dominion of who you truly are and your inheritance here on earth while you're still living. We want to make sure that you are fruitful, you are helpful, you become a blessings. You become a blessing to your peoples. And you get to apologize to no one for becoming who you truly are, who you're truly supposed to be. We make no apologies for any of the things that we do. We make absolutely no apologies, because it is truly who we are. When you are being yourself, you should never apologize for being you. So all of you who sometimes feel intimidated by becoming who you truly are, if you stigmatized for being you, words do not kill, guys. Words do not kill if you know who you truly are. Maybe I should say it that way. Words can kill you because if you have low self-esteem, someone might say something that is not very nice, and you may find yourself learning how to fly on a bridge. You may find yourself learning how to walk on an entire building up there with 20, 30, 40 stairs. So we want to make sure that if we are going to say something, let it be something that is inspiring. Let it be something that advocates for those who do not have the voice. Let it be something that uplifts your brothers and sisters. Don't bring them down. Let it be something that actually forces you to pull up your sweater. Get to work. Produce. Produce, produce, and produce. Because if you are in that spirit, inevitably, everything you are going to attract is going to be very good. Says my Father. And I trust my Father, guys, above everything on this planet. He is my role model. Even though I come short, but He is my role model by far. And with that in mind, guys, I also want to appeal to you and just bring that awareness right back at you. That you are now your own. You were brought here by someone with a purpose, with intent, with a will. Find out who you are. And live up to your purpose before you depart. Because if you don't, you would have misused the gift that was given to you. And all of us come here on earth with a gift. What is your gift? What is your gift? Have you taken the time to discover your gift? Have you nurtured your gift? That it grows where you can serve it to the people and those who desperately need it. If you go back without sharing your gifts with us, you will shortchange us. Same with me. If I leave out here without giving you my gifts, I'm going to shortchange you. Because to some of you, my gifts are the bridge that you need to cross over. For the rest of you, my gifts are the stairs that you need to climb to your very next level. To some of you, you may be my bridge, you may be my stairs. If I'm stingy, if I'm unwilling to serve that which was freely given to me, right back at you, so you can be completed as well. I literally am going to forfeit the very best gift that one can be given on this entire planet. But not only that, there is also a penalty for not utilizing the very gifts you were freely given. So it is my hope that none of you go back without utilizing your gifts. And that brings us down to what we do here at Free Dominion. At Free Dominion, guys, we make sure that we get to advocate, we get to pass on information, we get to work with you, not just through words, but also action. And we have programs that helps us to drive our ideas, that helps us to to do the work that we do. We get to share with you, and then we get to do it behind the scenes. And our programs are broken down in themes. We broadcast Monday through Friday from 12 to 1:30 Eastern Standard Time, or Washington, D.C. in the United States time. Those of you who want to catch us during those time frame, you know how to get in touch with us. And from that very time stamps, we get to be speaking to the rest of the entire world live. And we get to say, welcome, come and join with us. We have all the tools, all the technological advanced tools to help us connect with you. We make the effort to avail all the resources. We do not ask you to avail nothing except yourself and one of the tools that you can connect with us. Everything else we provide. And so we do a lot of legwork so that we can connect. And we are not doing you favors, guys. We were freely given the gifts to connect with you. And so if we misuse it, we are going to lose it. If you misuse your gift, you are going to lose it also. That's just a natural law. And with that in mind, Mondays we talk about one theme, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Friday. So Monday we get to talk about the eradication of African refugees and African stateless persons, which means the conditions by our brothers and sisters that cause them to be refugees. We get to study it, we get to scrutinize, and we get to uproot it, we get to get rid of it. While this is not an easy task, it is not an impossible one either. If you have a willing heart, everything else comes along as well. On Tuesdays, we get to talk about the constitutions, the laws, and the that word is going out of me. What's gotten into me today? We talk about the constitutions, the laws, and the regular. Help me, guys. Help me. I'm going blank. We call it policies. Policies are none other than just this set of instructions. Even the laws, the Constitution, it's the same as laws, same as policies. These are a set of instructions given to you, a set of guidelines that do not change within very specific time frame, within very specific constrained brackets. Why? Because when we have those guidelines, then you can say, I was following this and that and that and that. So on Tuesdays, we get to talk about that. But in particular, every single nation on planet Earth has what they call a constitution, or an agreement between the people and those who are in charge of the resources and the governments. We also have local laws. These laws are also instructions that brings order amongst the people. And these instructions are carried out by other chief citizens locally. We also have the so-called policies, which went out of my head. Policies are also a set of instructions that you personally can set up without having to have any congressional hearings, without having to have to vote, none of that. You can come up with those set of instructions that governs you, that governs everything around you. So all of it is the same thing, except that it has its own specific boundaries. A policy is just between me. Like in our studio, we have policies. We have specific set of steps, specific set of guidelines that actually governs what we do here. In the building we are in, we also have policies. Set of instructions that all of us will get to follow. Laws, also set of policies, but instead of being just in the building, it is much more broader in the neighborhood, in the city. It takes a whole lot of multitude of people, an organization, so many things there. Same set of instructions, but now they supersede what we do in this building. They supersede what we do here at HMG. Hopefully, it's making sense. Now the Constitution, set of instruction on a much, much wider area. Oftentimes we call it a country. A country is nothing other than multiple regions. These multiple regions have multiple families in it. Within families, it's you and I, a bunch of people, just small groups that are literally engulfed in very specific ways. So you get to be in charge of setting up policies, setting up laws, setting up constitution. You get to study, you get to scrutinize them and make sure that they actually work accordingly. Anything that works, you advocate that we keep it moving. Anything that doesn't work, you advocate that we get rid of it. That's what we do on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, we talk about the testimonies. We get to have an opportunity, a lifetime opportunity to actually write our own testimony. Here, we're writing using words. For some of you, you write using a pen. Others, you can type. Whatever means of writing and preserving your testimony, your history, we get to do that on Wednesdays. But here, this is a collective effort. You have access to this that is freely given to you. Africa and African people, we have such a rich history, but it's been purposely buried. Anything that's buried can also be unburied. So we are doing all the unburying of who we are as a people, because it's crucial to know who you are before you can go forward. If you're stagnated, if you're not doing anything, chances are that you just have a few missing pieces that you just simply need to have access to, and then you're good to go. On Thursdays, we get to talk about the spirit of dominion. What is dominion? It may be a fancy word to some of you, but dominion entails that you take control, you govern, you control, you subdue, you rule, you make better, you get to protect. These are the things that we can do, that you can do naturally. So when you dominate, you rule, you control, you master your surroundings, you master yourself, you master your resources around you. And you make sure that you bring order all around you. You cannot do what's never been given to you. You cannot dominate what you do not know, what you do not understand, and what you haven't really mastered. So when we come here, we're taking back that dominion. Here we're talking about our planet, our continent, your country, the resources within your country, your community, your family, and then yourself. If you can dominate yourself, if you can govern yourself, self-govern, if you can master yourself, then the world will be a very peaceful, very beautiful place to be in. On Fridays, we get to talk about the current event and how it impacts Africa and African people. Again, this is one of the beautiful days also that most of you get to set the agendas. On Fridays, we get to hear from you and we get to speak on your behalf of the things that you care mostly about. But also, given that the tools are available and readily open to each and every one of you, you can also join us live. Instead of us saying, you get to do all the doing, you get to do all the saying, you get to do all the speaking, all the above. We get to share because this is all ours. This is our own inheritance. It's not just ours explicitly or exclusively. So welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I am super humbled for this opportunity to come forward to you. And with that in mind, today we are Tuesday, March 29th. The month is over. And we want to do what we do best on Tuesdays. And we are going to talk about the Constitution, the laws, and the review, both on the implementation level at the same time, guys, at the same times as on the review level where you scrutinize, you get to have that microscope and see what's going on. And so with that in mind today, what do we want to say to you, what we want to share with you? The topic for today is, whose responsibility is it to acquire knowledge, understanding, and wisdom in the matters of dominion? Let me repeat, whose responsibility is it to acquire knowledge, understanding, and wisdom in the matters of dominion? I believe I just shared with you what dominion is for those of you who were just listening. So now I want to take it up a notch. What is knowledge? What is understanding? And what is wisdom? And how does it relate to you dominating your Africa? You managing the resources of Africa. You managing the resources of your own country. You managing the resources of your village. of your family, of yourselves. How does it relate to that, guys? It's very crucial. Let me start by saying that knowledge, understanding, and wisdom are the tools very crucial to each and every one of us on planet Earth. These are tools of which have been freely given to all of us. I call them tools because that's how I see them. But if we are going to sort of like definition, knowledge, it can be equated to information. Knowledge, it's information. We gather information every single day about so many things. Even right now, you're gathering information through hearing. You're gathering information through seeing. You're gathering information through sensing. We are constantly gathering information, constantly, non-stop. You gather information through taste. You gather information through smelling. All of us, every human being, every creature that there is, continuously gathers information. And based on the information you're gathering, you get to process it. Now, the understanding, it's none other than the comprehension of that which you just acquired. Meaning, if I get an information, if I acquire or if I receive information, now there is receiving information, which is one thing, and there is knowing what to do with it, having the understanding, being able to decipher what it means, the comprehension. If I get an information that says, open the door, as an example, and then I read that, but it's meaningless, I'm just gonna do nothing because it's meaningless to me. It could be the language barrier, or it could just be that I cannot read, even though you have taken the time to pass on some information, and my eyes are looking at something and nothing comes through. If you're cooking in the kitchen, and all of a sudden my stomach starts going, I'm smelling, and my stomach is telling me, time to eat, time to eat, time to eat. Automatically, my nose is picking up smell. My body is picking up. It's sensing. That smell comes in my brain, and then my brain is actually interpreting what that smell is. Being able to understand, to comprehend, to interpret the information. And as soon as I interpret, as soon as I understand that information, and guess what? Now my body kicks in. The minute my brain says you're hungry, guess what? Now I take action. Which is that wisdom. Being able to know what to do with the understanding of the information you received. I don't just sit still. When you say open a door, I must act. Open a door involves me taking some sort of action plan, grabbing my arms, open the door. So every single day we are guided by those three tools, every single day. These tools, they work for all creatures on planet Earth, including the very first creature that is much more sophisticated than the rest, you and I, the human beings. Now, this may sound so primary, so basic, but you'll be shocked how many of us do not actually take the time to fully be one with these tools. So I'll go on next and ask you, with the tools that you have, will you get a pass in this life for not having used those important tools? If you have been given free tools and you choose not to use them, for example, is there some repercussion? Is there some repercussion of you not using those tools? Do you get penalized? Or do you get rewarded for it? You go further. Some of you will wonder, do you have to enroll in what they call formal schools in order for you to get those tools, to have access to those tools and know how to use them? Guys, this is one of the most basic conversation we can have. However, it is not every day that you get to break it down in a such way that it's actually meaningful, where it makes sense. Our purpose here, especially with talking about this and discussing this, is so that that which seems intimidating becomes normal to you, becomes friendly, becomes acceptable in your conscience and subconscious, so that it can be beneficial to you. So now, how does this tool relate to you dominating your earth, your planet, your continent, your country, your community, your family, yourself? We are creatures of decisions. We make decisions. We've been given a gift of free will. This is one of the most amazing gifts, but also a powerful weapon, if you may put it that way. It's a gift because the one who created you, with your free will, you can choose to go against him. You can literally choose to go against him, because he's giving you that ability to have a choice, to do or not to do, to accept or not accept, to jump or not to jump, to talk or be silent, to do so many things. But with that particular gift also comes responsibility. Every day, with the tools that we have been freely given, all of us, we either get rewards for using them or we get penalties for using them. No exception. Doesn't matter whether you're in the United States, Asia somewhere, Europe somewhere, Africa somewhere. All of us, we are equal when it comes to the tools that we use every single day, that we were given freely. Some of us, we choose to use them. Others, we care less. And whatever decision you take, you either get rewarded or penalized from not utilizing it. And it is my hope that from today, those of you following, you can actually decide to take action with the tools that you were freely given. Failure to do that will also give you another reward called penalty. Minding you, they have a very specific allocated numbers of days, hours, you can utilize those tools while you're still living on planet Earth. So the choice is yours. What you choose to do or not to do, you and you alone can be responsible for it. Not me, not your parents. Doesn't matter whether you're a slave or a king or queen. You still have a choice. A king and a slave are the same people. One have decided to take charge of his or her life. Another have decided to give charge of your own life. One takes, another give. Slaves, they have freely given charge of their own free will to somebody else. You kings and queens, you have decided to take charge of your free will. Guys, that's as simple as it gets, yet as complicated as it gets. Because most of you have been taught now that you must purchase something to give it value. That which was freely given to you is more valuable than that which you have to purchase. Because those things that have been given freely to you were given freely to you by the true maker of all things. But the things that are costing you money or resources today are the things that are being manipulated by other human beings like yourselves. Less, more valuable than the original things. So decide you today what you give value to, because that will have a huge impact to you, your family, your community, even your nation. So now, why do I talk about what is knowledge, understanding, wisdom, and how it relates to dominion? You've been given the mandate to dominate, to rule, to control, to master. Your Africa, your land, the resources within your land, the birds in the air, the fish in the sea, every single animal on planet Earth, but also all the resources within the land, within the earth. Now, if you do not have any knowledge of it or them, if you have never have any opportunity to comprehend them, how will you have the wisdom to utilize that which is there? I'll give you an example. You find gold on your street, but yet you have never had any knowledge of what gold is. Without that knowledge, you cannot have any comprehension. You won't even know what to do with it. And then right next to you, see people running fast and they're coming for it. And you alone, you were just like an idiot, doing nothing because you didn't have the knowledge about it. When around you, people are trying to kill each other because they're trying to fight over it. And you wonder, what's with the quarrel? Why are you fighting over this thing, this rock? And then they go along, they're like, wow, you didn't know what this is? And then they start to freely give you the knowledge. They try to explain something to you, also known as passing the information to you. And then you're like, what? And someone else comes along and they pass on the information and they do the attempt to make you understand it differently. They attempt to get it inside of your subconscious in another way. And then you start saying, wow, okay, now I get it. So now once you get it, now you start looking like, is there some more around me? Is there any more? Is there any more? Because now you actually are understanding, you're comprehending what that is. And now you are willing to start walking every single day searching for the gold. That is what's happening today, guys. You leave your homeland looking for gold. Foreigners are coming to your homeland seeking for gold. However, one has already been equipped with both knowledge and understanding, and they're also putting some wisdom in practice. When you have been hidden from knowledge and understanding, or when you have not taken any action to seek out knowledge and understanding. Guys, how can you leave Africa when Africa is one of the most wealthiest continent on planet Earth? It's just like that person who has gold, but has no knowledge of what gold is. Africans today, we have refused to awaken the knowledge hidden within us, the understanding hidden within us, and failed to take action with the wisdom that comes along with that. Consequently, foreigners come in Africa, then they have the expertise of that which is ours. For them, they're fighting over it. For you, you're looking like an idiot. But they do even better. They actually collide, they collude to make sure that you flee your homeland. You get out of it. You get out of it. Using bombs, using fights, using warfares. You are such loving, peaceful people that anytime there's warfare, you want to get out of the way. Any means necessary to get you out of your rich, stinking resources, you take the opportunity. Very sad. As soon as you arrive to the newly repositioned land that's been sent to you, that's been given to you, or that's been temporarily landed to you, now you are told, you must produce, you must produce, you must produce. You must work. And these are your parameters you cannot get past. You become slaves in the foreign land when you were kings and queens in your own homeland. These nations, with the little knowledge of what it is you have at home in your own homeland, they go there and they plunder your resources. They bring it back to their homeland right where you are slaves. And then they tell you, we want you to work on this. Why? Because you already possess the knowledge. Has it ever occurred to you? Have you ever, guys, wondered why any jobs that you receive in these strange lands, you excel in it? Let me give you an example. Take the slaves who were taken out. Slaves came up with all kinds of tools to lighten the load of the work that they were doing. They came up with all kinds of inventions to make sure that they could get a break. They only did that for their own sake, to make sure that they could get a break. They didn't do it because they loved the masters. They were trying to get a break. But the masters were paying attention. They were like, whoa, wait. You mean to tell me if you take this and that and you combine it, your workload is much more lighter to you? I can actually produce much more. So therefore, from today on, you are my slaves producing this particular tool. That tool now is replacing your workload. It's producing much more faster, much more quicker, with accuracy better than what you had before. Because all you wanted was a break. You even forgot the value you just added to your master. Because you were so stressed over taking a break. The knowledge you have just spit, the knowledge that you have just shared, and the understanding of that knowledge that you possess, and the wisdom to know what to do, because you're producing now a tool. It's valueless to you because you are not properly positioned where you're supposed to be. As long as you are a slave in a strange land, any invention, anything that you come up with, it is not going to be useful for you, helpful for you, valued for you, because your master would automatically take charge, take hold of it. Such is what's been happening for many of you, sons and daughters of Africa, for centuries, up to this day. And now we get to say, from now on, all that knowledge, all that understanding, all that wisdom that you house inside of you, reposition yourself, awaken the knowledge, the understanding, and the wisdom, and go back home. Take charge of your homeland. Take dominion of your own homeland. Govern, rule, control, master everything in your homeland, because you've been doing it in the strange world without any value added proposition to you. So at home, you are desperately needed because you are putting out your hand for a pot of porridge when all along porridge is right inside of your homeland. You have plenty of it at home, but you've been denied the access to use it. You yourselves have not awakened the knowledge to use that because you cannot recognize it. Time is now, guys. Time is now to awaken your knowledge, your understanding, and your wisdom. It's been freely given to you. It's been freely given to you. You walk with it everywhere you go. You've been hiding it ever since you were born. Even right now, as I'm speaking to you, every single one of you is far more worthier, far more valuable than the gold that you think is very valuable today. But you are ignorant as to what it is that's inside of you. I tell you what, prove me wrong. I'm daring you to prove me wrong. But sincerely prove me wrong. I always prove that with just simple example, guys. Who taught you how to breathe? Did any university teach you how to breathe? Did any high school teach you how to breathe? Did any primary school teach you how to breathe? Did your mom, your dad teach you how to breathe? They couldn't possibly teach you something that is not theirs to begin with. Your maker taught you how to breathe because he imprinted breathing knowledge inside of you. You comprehended it even when you were a baby. And when you were born, the wisdom kicked in and you started doing it. If you didn't have the knowledge, if you didn't have the understanding, the comprehension of what it is to breathe, you wouldn't have been breathing. Suppose you are faulty, meaning maybe you have some lung issues, your nose issues. Guess what? You fight breathing because breathing is in you. You kick until they can tell that life is in you, breath is in you. That's when they start to help you. They help you like, okay, this child is not breathing properly. Let's do A, B, C, D. Why? Because you gave him the evidence that you can breathe. Though difficult, but then they help you with what's already there. It could be that maybe one of your nose is it's not properly cleaned. Since you were in that belly, things were in your nose. Now if they properly clean it, you're good to go. There are some things that we do that is naturally yours, guys. I also love to give an example of a bird. Every single bird never had to go to any university to breathe. Never had to go to any university to fly. It never had to go to any university to grow feathers. Feathers are naturally on birds because a bird needs feathers. Every bird needs feather. A feather is not just there for decoration. It helps birds to fly. Now there are some birds that do not fly anymore, like chickens. Some pigeons also, when you feed them too much in your own household, they no longer can fly because you're giving them more food than the food they're supposed to have. And therefore they do not develop properly. They do not exercise the feather. They do not stretch and learn how to fly because they are too comfortable just going on with their own 2 feet. We are comfortable right now, not becoming who we are supposed to be because of choices that either have been made on our behalf or the choices that we have made on our own selves or the choices that we have failed to take on our own behalf. So choose you wisely today, guys. The tools you've been freely given to you, you must be able to use them for the allocated amount of times that you have on this earth. No exceptions. The gifts that have been freely given to you, you have to use it with what is it there for, what you must be using it for. Africans, we've been given the best gifts that there's ever been. The best gifts that there's ever been. And if you think I'm kidding, guys, search within you, look within you. Each and every one of you, no exception. Each and every one of you, you got a gift. Not only you have a gift, but you also have been given the package of that wisdom, the package of that comprehension, the package of that knowledge as well inside of you. Now, what are you waiting for? Why do you find yourself a slave when you already have the tools to enable you to behave like a king or a queen that you have been naturally created to be? I mean, why choose to be a slave when you are already a king? Seriously. A king who chooses to just behave like a slave, who submits like a slave, never awakens your gifts, ignore knowledge, ignores understanding, and ignores wisdom. What becomes of you? You get penalized for failing to do that because you were given the knowledge to know the difference and to use them accordingly. And some of you have been wondering and asking, especially, like, so, I don't know where to get that. I don't have money to pay for that education. Some of you call it education. I call some of these education we get to mess you up. There are schools you go to and you come out worse than how you were when you got in it. We got plenty of people who have the licenses, the diplomas, to actually validate what I'm saying here. You go to a university, not only you get your bachelor's, your master's, and your doctorate in medicine, yet you cannot heal people. Why? Because that which you have been mastering in is not real than the knowledge that's already inside of you as it relates to medicine. You get to what they call formal schools to become an engineer. Spend 4 years, you add 2 more, and if you really want to show off, you go for extra 2 more. 8 years in total to some of you. You come out and you got a piece of paper that says this individual is qualified as an engineer. Then we ask you, can you put together a tool that's supposed to help us to improve our quality of life? Nothing comes out of you. What kind of engineer are you if you cannot produce, if you cannot create, if you cannot, actually let me use those words carefully, if you cannot make, you cannot create. There's only one creator. Creation implies that you're creating something out of nothing. Making implies that you're making something out of something. You're putting together something out of something that's already been created. So we are makers, we are not creators. Get to know the difference, guys. My maker made this suit, also known as a body, from nothing. That's what he tells me. Out of nothing, he created this body. What you think is nothing is more real than this body. Which is why your naked eye cannot see him, because it seems, he looks, he smells like nothing, but he's everything. And I know that may mess you up too for some of you, which is why a lot of this conversation, when you entertain them, they commit you to homes they call crazy homes. You may seem like you're going cuckoo, but I want to let you know that you are already smart. You are already equipped with everything that you need today to do mightier things today. Why am I bringing this right now to you guys? If you want it today, guys, and I kid you not, if you want it, anything that you desire to know about, anything that is really ticking inside of you. You can get the knowledge, you can get the understanding, and you can actually have the wisdom as it relates to that, whatever that thing is. In other words, you can get the information that you need about that. You can also get the comprehension, and you can also now be wise enough, be smart enough to use it in your day-to-day life so that it's beneficial not only to you, but to others. I give you an example. Right now, those of you who are hungry, for example, and you have an inheritance of a land, if you wanted to, you could actually go raise up your t-shirt, your sweater, whatever it is you got on, and decide, I am going to plant some food. And you may be like, I never knew. I don't know how to plant anything. Now the information is so readily available, nobody can hide it. You can go on the internet and ask the internet anything you want to ask it. It only requires your time. To most of you, even those of you who have to literally pay for internet time, for data plan, that's all you gotta do. Be disciplined enough to spend time. Remember, spending the currency called time. And all of us, we have the same amount of time. Every single one of us, we have same amount of currency called time. So whatever it is you want to know, whatever it is you want to improve upon, you can spend your currency in the form of time and acquire that knowledge. Once you get that knowledge, spend a little bit more currency and get the comprehension. And once you're done, invest some time, take action, and turning it into something else different. If you will to do that, it's inevitable. That is why I'm telling you guys, issues you have at home right now, these are the issues we have because you have chosen not to take any action. These are the issues there because I have chosen not to take any action towards them. But today I'm changing, guys. And I wish and I pray and I encourage each and every one of you, decide to change. There's nothing on planet Earth you cannot do if you want to do it. If you will to do it. There's not a single government on planet Earth that will stop you to bring out the knowledge hidden within you, to bring out the understanding, to bring out the wisdom. Because your gifts are exclusively yours. Your gifts also come with an exclusive natural manual. Manual, it's a set of instructions that tells you what to do. You have that today, right now, those of you listening to me. I possess that, you possess that. But now the choice becomes yours as to whether you actually want to sweat bringing out that gift, nourishing that gift, polishing that gift until it's ready to be served as a fruit. The issues we have right now are no issues. These are opportunity for you to bring out the gifts within you. Every problem we have here on planet Earth, it's an opportunity for you, for me, to actually bring out the gifts within us. But these opportunities do not come when you are not mad, when you haven't had enough of it. The only time you take action, most of us, is when you've had enough. Meaning, if you're hungry enough and nobody cares that you're hungry, deep inside of you, there's knowledge that's going to be like, man, what are you doing for us? What are you doing to me? It's going to wake you up. It's going to wake your spirit up and forces you to go and look for food. Guys, when you're hungry for anything, you seek out the food to nourish that hunger. If you're hungry enough, you seek out the food. If you're curious enough about anything on this planet, you'll seek out the knowledge. You'll eat the understanding. And you will take action towards it. It is absolutely a given. It's undisputable, guys. It's undisputable to all of you. No exception. No exception whatsoever. Get to know that you can do it. You have done it. And you got to train the rest of your brothers and sisters to do it. It's inevitable. If you will to do it, you will get it done. If you will to do it, you will get it done. So why am I really taking the time to really spend your 90 minutes over this? Africa is one of the youngest. Africa has one of the youngest population on planet Earth today. Yet a lot of Africans are being taken out of Africa and dispersed throughout the rest of the world as slaves. Why? Because if you are in these other strange lands, they can maintain slavery upon you, and you will never grow enough to become kings and queens. As a child, a slave and a master are no different. A slave and a king, a slave and a prince, they're all the same. A slave and a princess, they're all the same. As babies, they both come out crying, pooping, and eating. That's it. But as you grow, now you start noticing the difference. Guys, you must know that whatever it is you seek, whatever it is you desire, it's already available here. You do not have to go steal, kill, and do all kinds of worthless things to look for that which they call money. Money, it's a tool invented by us to create exclusivity and access to that which has been freely given to you. Right now, if you want to go to Africa, for example, you need money to catch a flight. But I tell you the truth, if you wanted to, you can create a bird, also known as a plane, to take you to Africa yourself today, if you wanted to. Because that knowledge is readily available. It is not just exclusive to these manufacturers. They got even much more smarter. There's something they call copyright. Seriously speaking, guys. I mean, we are imposters in copyright infringement. My father has never been given credit for his creative mind. Someone goes right around the corner and discovers something created by my father. Oftentimes, they may steal your knowledge, that which is inside of you. And then they go to this office and they say, I came up with this first, so this is my copyright. Are you killing me? We know that there's no such thing as a copyright on another human being. But however, because the set of governorships that we have, the set of guidelines, these people who govern you, they've come up with these ways of limiting your ability, limiting what you can do, overpowering you so that you do not become yourselves. You stay slaves and they stay masters. They utilize your knowledge. They utilize your resources. And the cycle continues. At what point do you decide to take back your kingship and your queenship? Whose responsibility is it to awaken your knowledge, your understanding, and your wisdom so that you can reclaim your kingdom? It is all inside of you guys. It is not in these Ivy League schools. It's not there, promise you. It's with you. Wherever it is that they've taken you as slaves, it's there with you. But you have to decide to awaken it. You have to decide to awaken it. They cannot control you if you don't want to be controlled. They cannot control you if you do not want to be controlled. They cannot kill you if you do not want to be killed. They cannot misuse you. They cannot rape you if you do not comply in those activities. It is the truth, guys. It is the truth and nothing but the truth. So why are we seeing murders of millions and millions of our brothers and sisters every single day? Genocide is being committed every single day to our brothers and sisters, and we're doing nothing about it. Or at least most of us, we're doing nothing about it. Remember, there is both a reward and a penalty next to your gifts based on how you decide to use it. Failure to use it will give you what they call a penalty. Successfully using it, using your gift will give you rewards. We are in a season today where my gifts have to be maximized. I have to use my gifts so that I do not bear the penalty of not using it. I'd rather receive the reward for using it. Not because people like me or love me. No. That is already predetermined by my Father. So choose you today whether you want the penalty or the reward of using your own gifts. Remember, your own gifts. You do not need to go pay millions of dollars to learn something from Ivy Leagues when you already have been given a free gift, freely given to you by your Father. It is well secured inside of you, extremely distinguished from anybody else around this planet. But if you choose not to awaken it, if you choose not to use it, it's going to stay dormant. Then you are going to literally need that $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, even $1 million of someone else's piece of paper called money. Trying to go to Ivy League to acquire someone else's information as it relates to what you think you need to be doing. Guys, the choice is really clear. But we are either too stoned to make the right choice or too ignorant to realize what the right choices is. I think it was last week I was asking you, have you ever seen any single government on planet Earth meddling with a pregnant woman, giving her a hard time that she needed a license to give birth to a child, to get pregnant, to know how to bake the baby in her belly? Can they certify how you bake a baby, how you create a baby in your belly? Your knowledge, your facility, your ability to create a baby in your womb is far above what a scientist from those Ivy League schools can decipher. What you can naturally do with your own natural degrees given by your own Father, it is far, 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 far beyond the comprehension of any scientist on planet Earth right now. You mothers, you know better. That's just one example of many. So how dare you submit to a doctor attempting to tell you how you heal yourself, how you heal your baby, right after you give birth to that baby. You were smart enough to make the baby, but you are not smart enough to nourish, to upkeep the baby. Can you imagine how absurd we've become as human beings? You've done the toughest of the toughest of the toughest project to bring a baby to life. Yet you do not know how to take care of that baby. You have to be taught how to take care of that baby. Just think about how they flipped your brain upside down. It's like disgraceful, guys. It's so disgrace that you get to create, and then an ignorant person comes in and tell you how to maintain that which you've created. It's like you engineered a product, and someone who's clueless as to what you have done, they come in and they tell you how to operate your own product. Think about that, guys. Think about that. Examples are there every single day in everything that we do. The more you realize that, it's like jokes is on us, guys. I do not mean to insult any of your intelligence, but tell me how you bake a baby in your belly. And as soon as that baby comes out, you get to be taught, you get to be told, you get to be instructed on how to raise your baby, how you care for that baby. Think about that. If you are smart enough to bake the baby, are you not smart enough to nourish the baby, to keep that baby alive? Only when they turn your brain upside down, you have no idea what to do. But naturally, you've been given that knowledge. You've been given that understanding. And if you so choose, you can put it into action. If you so choose, you can take action. And that is why it perplexes me today how Africa has been enslaved for centuries, guys. It perplexes me how Africa has been enslaved for centuries. Remember, I started saying, whose responsibility is it to acquire the knowledge, the understanding, and the wisdom in the matters of dominion? These are precisions, things that are precise. No fluke, no accident, precision. We're talking about things that have precision. If you have specific guidelines as to how you do any single thing on planet Earth, why would you not spend the time to acquire that knowledge, to comprehend that knowledge, and then put the time into putting the action, that which you have learned, so that it yields a result? Everything that's happening to you, that's happening to me, be it good or bad, it is a result of what I have accepted or failed to accept. Everything that's happening to you, brothers and sisters, be it slaves or kings or queens, it is a result of your acceptance of those very conditions, or failure to take action to that which you should have done to avoid that from happening. So, it is my humble request to each and every one of you, get back in touch with you. Get back in touch with your manual. It's within you. It's not in the Ivy League schools. It's not with our doctor. It's neither with any of the people you think know all that they need to know about you. Nobody knows you except the one who made you, who created you. Why would you go ask an engineer of a Mercedes how a Toyota was manufactured, was made? Can you just imagine? Have you ever seen a Mercedes vehicle going in a Toyota shop for major engine work? So why do you do that yourselves every single day? And the worst part of it, you have no knowledge that you're doing that. Every single manufacturer is responsible for its own product. How dare you try to maintain me? How dare you try to repair me when you have no knowledge of me? That is an example of something that we are doing every single day, and I think it's treacherous, guys. A Corvette will never go to Boeing for maintenance. A Lexus will never go to a Volkswagen for maintenance. They'll look at you like you go mad. Because that is violating the very basic of your ownership as a manufacturer. Why pretend to be what you're not? Why going for the wrong people, for the wrong organization, for the wrong manufacturer, for that which is not theirs? We have become master liars, professional liars when it comes to whose manufacturer that we are going to go to. Somebody can come in and they literally can tell you, hey, I can fix you. I am your maker. I know how to do this. And you cave in, you let them be. As quickly as you find out that they are not only imposters, but they do not know what they're talking about, you don't have the courage to put your tail in between your two legs and move on and say, you got me once, but there will never be a second time. Guys, it's sad that we can cry over a pot of porridge to someone who has no knowledge of what porridge is when you can get it in your own backyard. Look how many people in Africa are hungry right now. Literally, guys, look how many of you are hungry. Yet the knowledge, the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, and the wisdom that you possess, you're using it for nothing to take care of the hunger that you have. You go to France, you go to the United States, you go to UK, and you beg for a pot of porridge. You beg for that which you already know how to provide for yourselves. But you are too lazy, too ignorant to do it for yourselves. An enemy comes in and sell you guns and sell you weapons. And you are too dumb, too ignorant to refuse to bring that mess amongst your people. Because you already know what that does, but you choose to ignore that. And consequently, you're poisoning your own homeland and you're poisoning your own people. And then you're topping it off by killing them. They get to say to you, my gun doesn't kill people. You kill your own people. This is just a tool. You chose how to use that tool. That's how they tell you. When do we become responsible for the procurement of that which is already inside of you? Knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. You don't need to go purchase it. It's there. It's been given to you ever since you were born. But you have to choose to bring it out. That is a task that no Ivy League is going to be able to do for you. That is a task that even the master of the masters will not do for you. You got to do it for self. They might guide you. They might show you the steps, but they are not going to do it for you. If you want to get pregnant, they may tell you how to get pregnant, but you got to get pregnant yourself. You have to carry that baby yourself. There are some things that nobody is going to come in and do on your behalf. Even though today we are trying to defy the gravities, the laws of nature. You can only temporarily defy the laws of nature, but you cannot defy them always and permanently. As long as you live on this planet, some things you cannot defy them permanently. You can temporarily defy them, but you can never defy them permanently. So what do you want to do today with your gifts, with that knowledge, with that understanding and wisdom hidden inside of you? What do you want to do with it? Can you bring it out and let us use it before you depart? If you do not know how to use it, can you get with any of your brothers and sisters who already know how to bring out theirs so they can show you how they did it? So you can do that same steps, also bringing out your own gifts. Again, I started saying that this conversation might seem like it's very, very, very primitive. That which is primitive, you've rejected. That which is free, you've rejected for that which is costing you human-made piece of paper called money. So you're rejecting priceless gift over very limited gift in value. How messed up is that? How messed up is that, guys? That's the genius we have on planet Earth today. But I started questioning a lot of things the day I realized that a woman gets pregnant, goes through the process of growing the baby inside of her, and then you cry that you need help giving birth. Or you're afraid to give birth, and so you request another human being to cut you open, which is unnatural. And then they remove the baby out of your belly because it's the easiest thing to do. Then you doing a little bit of hard work and bring out that baby the way it's already imprinted inside of you. Again, it's a choice. I am not hating to those of you who have had C-sections. I am simply saying there's a secret inside of you that all this time you've been so ignorant about, be it willingly or unwillingly. And at the very end of it, before you check out, you will be rewarded or penalized. In fact, you leave the penalty of not utilizing the tools you already were born with. I am so tempted to go there, but I'm not going to go there for some of the examples that I want to give you guys. Anytime you fail to take action for that which you have possession over, you invite the penalty for that very same gifts that you had, for failing to use it. That is. So what am I saying? I just out of nowhere gave you an example of a mother because it's something that you can relate to without having to go to an Ivy League. Even you, fathers, you've been given a sperm. Something you can't even visually see with your naked eye. That liquid you see, it's millions of them. Just think about you housing millions of little lives inside of you. Yet you have no knowledge, nor understanding, even to some of you the wisdom to utilize that. So if you've got that precious gift and you do not know how to utilize it, how do you expect the rewards to come forward? if you already forfeited from using it properly. I am not insulting any of your intelligence, guys. But I want to keep it real with you, because I have arrived in a time period in my life where I'm learning to keep it real with myself. Today I cannot blame anybody for my mishap. I'm telling you, today I cannot blame anybody for my mishap. It is on me and only me. Because I have both the knowledge and the understanding, but also the wisdom, to that which I received the penalty for failing to use. So even with you, I seriously have no sympathy for what you go through. I have no mercy to say, poor you. It's a choice you have made. And I'm being frank with you and truthful to you. It's a choice we're making every day. Even though you may be ignorant of those choices you're making, it still does not remove that it's a choice that you have made. Because beforehand, you were given the wisdom, the comprehension, and the information as tools to utilize them on this journey on planet Earth. All of us who were given those 3 tools and a beautiful gift to bring out, to become whatever our Father says you should become, and I should become. So today, I am not in a position at all. I can't hate on you, but I also would not feel pity for you. And that goes with me. Don't hate on me, but don't feel pity over me either. I need no sympathy from you. I need no pity from you. I'm grown enough today to know that it's on me. Can you handle that yourself? The failure you have in your life right now, can you man up, can you woman up and accept that it's a failure of an area in your life that you have not excelled in? Becoming a slave in these nations, it's a failure for taking your kingship. It's a failure to assume your responsibilities as kings and queens. There's no way you can become a slave if you are properly positioned as a king and a queen. It's impossible. So, you receive the penalty of failing to become a king and a queen. That's why you're a slave in these countries, in these nations. But again, the same way you failed, you can take action today and decide that, you know what, enough is enough. Let me take back what is rightfully mine, which is where we came in. We have said to you guys that we are taking back dominion over Africa, African resources, and everything about us. We are taking back that dominion. We've never lost it. We just decided to keep it dormant. So if you are so choosing, if you have enough of enough, if you had enough of it, and today you want to flip the chapter, reach out to us, guys. Reach out to us. And we run together in a journey to your greatness as kings and queens. And we are not bragging, guys. We are not bragging whatsoever. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. And so is the whole entire Afri Dominion team. Reach out to us. You'll be amazed what you are holding on to right now. But the decision of taking action, the decision of awakening that knowledge, that understanding, and that wisdom lies solely with you. I can never do it for you. We may be able to show you, but we can never awaken it. It is you who choose to do it. Guys, I'm told that I'm done. My time is over. It's my humble and excitement to be with you guys. Thank you for the privilege to serve you today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave us a feedback at afridominion.com or straight to our website, www.afridominion.com, or through our email, info@afridominion.com. I'm Freeman Singirankabo with HMG Network, here bringing to you Afri Dominion show. I hope that what we have shared with you, it's helpful and useful. And if it isn't, awaken your knowledge, your understanding, and your wisdom, and know how to do with the gifts you have from deep within you. Until next time, have a beautiful day, and God bless.